Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Got Cheated by Girls and They Regret It and Turned Back Time Part 2. Before we start, please go support ecipionelafricano for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. In training and starting a new life. The members of the occult club were preparing for the decisive confrontation with Razor Phoenix. The girls who were with him at the time were worried about training him well and making sure that it didn't turn out like the last time his chestnut was injured. But this time everything was different. The girls already knew what their weak points were. But he was always aware that the chestnut tree would train well, because he wanted revenge for what he did by hurting the chestnut tree in the past, and they wouldn't allow that again. Kuroka and Ravel promised to help, but Ravel couldn't participate because he was part of his brother's pieces. Kuroka, for her part, temporarily agreed to be the second bishop to help counter the Razor's pieces in number. The girls' training was arduous, as they had a week to train, so everyone got busy training. Kuroka and Kaneko trained in their senjutsu, and that Kaneko would not be afraid to bring out her power. Akeno knew that she had to train to have multiple sources of energy, and not waste too much of it in combat. Asia trained with Rias to learn her magic control and resistance, just as Rias learned the enemy's tactics and reduced energy when sending an attack. Both Issei and Kiba trained. Issei, well Kiba, I know I've seen you fight, you're good at speed, but your weak point is fighting hand to hand without weapons, only with fists. Kiba, I understand. Issei, I know we have a week to train, so starting with this. Issei took out a somewhat used leather punching bag from a training bag. The bag was his property. Well, that was what he trained with. Issei, Kiba, you have to hit him with your fists closed and your arms at 90 degrees from your shoulders to give a direct and strong blow. Kiba, it's okay. Issei, do this until noon, then we'll focus on something else, so train. Kiba, okay. Issei left the place to look for Akeno to help him improve his magic control. Issei, Akeno-san, can I ask you a small favor? Akeno, yes. Issei, could you help me control the concentration of magic? Akeno, yes, I would love to help my Kohai. Issei, thank you. Issei and Akeno go to train in a part near the house so as not to disturb the others. Akeno, to control or acquire magical abilities you must think of an image, and that will be reflected in your magic. Concentrate all your energy in the palm of your hand. Issei, okay, well, thinks of an image, and visualizes an electrical storm with several electrical discharges, thinking that lightning begins to come out of the brown-haired boy's hand. Ignore Kakashi. Issei, something like that, holding lightning magic in his hand. Akeno, yes, Issei, like that. Wow, I never thought Issei could do that. Well, now it's time to train him a little more so that he doesn't get hurt at the hands of Razor Phoenix, because I won't let anyone else hurt my Inada anymore. Issei, in his mind, if I continue like this I will be able to achieve more things and protect someone special, and I hope that what I want to say can be fulfilled, but I fear that the same thing that happened a while ago will happen, remembering a person who destroyed his heart before Reincarnation. The days passed, the members of the occult club had trained until exhaustion. Kaneko had trained her senjutsu along with her sister. Kaneko felt happy, because she was reconciled with her sister thanks to the help of her beloved in the past, which meant that she did not dedicate time to them if they had a whole life to be with him. The stupidity of seeking refuge of love in another arm where he felt insecure and did not feel the same treatment as the one who gave his life for his love until the last breath of his life, she felt devastated and guilty for having betrayed the trust of the man who helped her with her family, and paying him back in that way was unforgivable. But when Valley arrived and said they could get back with him, my life was lit up. Destiny gave a second chance to be with him, and when she was close to him she promised herself that she would not make the same damn mistake she made. She promised herself that she would be faithful to him until the day she died. Continuing with the members, Akeno had already improved her resistance as well as Asia with her magical levels. With one of the male members, Kiba, it was somewhat hard for him and he was a demon. Issei made him train hard. After the blows to the punching bag, he had to train with the trees in the area. He had to hit the tree only with his fists until he could damage or pierce it. Issei continued to control his magic as Akeno had told him, but in his head, apart from being trained, he had a discomfort in his feelings towards a person, but he was afraid or fearful of what had been done to him in the past. That was the training of the members of the occult club, but there was one more surprise for a certain chestnut tree. That small moment would be the beginning of a new destiny, or what would be called a new life. It was part of the 5th day, it was night. The chestnut had gone down to the kitchen to get a glass of water. When he came out he met the redhead. Issei, "Oh Butcho, what are you doing here at this hour?" Rias, "Just in time, let's talk a little." They leave the main house to a mini Parthenon in the house. Issei, "Are they war plans?" Rias, "Yes, although making them as a manual is a bit useless." Issei, "Not at all, even at night he keeps trying." Rias, "But our opponent is Phoenix, I'm sure you know, it's a fierce and immortal bird." Rias, "In addition to being a demon, he carries the mark of a beast, he represents 2 pillars and his 2 spiritual powers are acclaimed by both, he is immortal." Issei, "An immortal, I thought that would only happen in a sub-real life, but now I see that it is real." Rias, "Yes, it is invulnerable, it has always been attacked, it has generated itself, the razor regeneration is fast, and that gives it an advantage." Rias, "But it is also a disadvantage for him, since many clans have sought to join him, but so far he has not lost. When he participated in the Rite-in games, his slaves multiplied rapidly and formed a barrier for him." Issei, "I'm sorry." Rias, "Why?" Issei, "I provoked Razor, if it weren't for me provoking him, we wouldn't be fighting him." Rias, "Don't say that, in fact I should thank you for rushing it. My dad and the others arranged this game knowing that I would lose in chess vocabulary." Issei, "A deception." Rias, "That's right." Issei, "Why did you have to marry someone you don't want?" Rias, "I am a daughter of Gremory, no matter where I am not Rias, I am always the Gremory clan, which means that what happens to me happens to my clan." Rias, "It's a matter of personal pride, but if I were to get married I would like to do it as Rias, not as a daughter of Gremory. I want to be with someone who loves me, not my family." Rias, "Maybe it's hypocritical of me, but I want that little dream to come true." Issei took courage even though it destroyed his heart again, but he wanted to confess his feelings even if she wouldn't take them seriously. Issei, "I don't care about that, I love you as you are, if you are a demon or not, I don't care who your family is, I only love one person who is Rias Gremory." The chestnut's words made Rias become amazed. Those words brought back memories of how she spent time with her chestnuts, how she confessed in the confrontation with her cousin. That same emotion she felt as well as some tears when she remembered the written letter and the death of her chestnut killing the traitors who they looked at them as boyfriends. And as she held her boyfriend's body, covered in blood from so many wounds, and saw his lifeless eyes, she believed inside, but this time it would be different. She would love him and be faithful to him until death and protect him from all evil. Rias, blushing and with some tears in her blue eyes, "What did you say, Issei?" Issei, "I like you, Rias Gremory." Rias, now if she couldn't believe it, her brown-haired boy had confessed to her. That brought her many mixed emotions, so now it was time to confess her feelings. Rias almost stood in front of him and threw herself at him. Rias, blushing and with tears, "I love you too, Issei Hujo." Issei was going to say that he was sorry for saying that stupid thing, but he was surprised when he heard the redhead's words. That made him feel very happy because he finally found a girl who would accept his feelings and not like that fateful time. Issei, "Did you really laugh? Did you really like it?" Rias, "Yes, Issei, I like you. I've wanted to tell you my feelings for a long time, but I didn't have the courage." Issei, with tears, thank you for accepting my feelings," hugging her tightly but without hurting her. Rias, "On the contrary, I should thank you for accepting mine," with tears in my eyes. The two stared into each other's eyes, both reflecting mixed emotions, but they knew they had to seize the moment, so Rias took the initiative, putting her arms around his neck and planting a kiss on the brown-haired boy. That kiss conveyed pure and true love, so the brown-haired boy reciprocated the kiss. Almost a minute passed when they separated to look for air. But the two were happy to find each other. After finishing that kiss, you lowered your hands behind his back and hugged him with much love, to which the brown-haired man nodded, doing the same. Rias, you know, Issei, since I saw you, I felt that there was something special in you that made me fall in love. Issei, I thought that because of what they said at school that I was perverted, no one would like me. Rias, I don't care what other people say, I like you just the way you are. What made me fall in love with you was your kind, loving, protective side, and feeling that here in your arms it didn't matter if you had strength. By your side I feel safe, at peace, and I feel a comforting warmth. Rias, besides that night when I told you about my problem, you supported me and even asked me to stay with you. I felt like I could have asked for more, but when I slept with you, I felt like my sorrows and anguish disappeared, all thanks to you. That moment was the one that broke the camel's back. I knew I was totally in love with you and I didn't know how to say it. Issei, thank you, Rias, for that phrase. I already knew I was in love with you. From the moment I saw you in that window, I knew that love had struck me with that sweet smile. From that moment I hadn't been able to stop thinking about you. Rias, Issei. Issei, you laughed. Both I love you. The two give each other a tender and loving kiss, ending that kiss. Issei, so you agreed to be my girlfriend? Rias, of course. Issei, how good. They were under a new moon, the two holding hands. Issei, since we are dating, why don't we do something that my grandfather told me a long time ago, so that you are with me? Rias, incredulous about that, what is that about? Issei, to make a contract with my heart so that it officially belongs to you, since you had already stolen it a long time ago. Rias, blushing at his words, I accepted, and how is it done? Issei, first I'll explain it to you. The man who is in love and his wife also knows that she is faithful. With a little blood he must tell his beloved to take his blood with her finger and put it on her chest in the area of her heart. Rias, so that's it. Issei, then you accept, Rias? Rias, yes, I accept. Issei, okay, let's begin. Issei cuts his palm so Rias can drink his blood. Issei, Rias, place your finger on my palm and put that finger on my heart. Rias, it's okay. Rias does what her beloved tells her. Rias, and now what? Issei, I have to say a few words first, I'll start. Issei, the life I lived all these years has no value, but now I want to live for you. I made a pact with my heart, taking Rias's hand. I will be born thousands of times for you. Issei, now say. Rias, Rias Gremory, I accept that your bravery has conquered me. I have no doubt in my heart. I will always be yours in this life and in future ones. I will walk by your side. I will be your faithful companion if you accept the treaty of your heart. Issei, I accept. Taking Rias's hand, he approaches his bare chest. Seeing where he put his blood stain, blood began to flow, but this time from his chest, seeing how on his chest his name was written on the chest of his beloved. Issei felt no pain knowing that his heart had already been taken by his beautiful maiden. Issei, ready, my beautiful Rias, you have taken my heart for this and more lives. From now on I will be yours. Rias, and me too. They agree on that moment with a kiss. Issei, you know, since I was at my job, I promised that I would dedicate a song to my girlfriend, and you want to hear it. Rias, surprised that her Issei wanted to dedicate a song to her. Yes, Issei wanted to listen to it. Standing there, it seems as if a little magic brought a guitar and it played itself, giving off a beautiful song. The song. The moon doesn't need to come out to come and sing you my song. The sky doesn't need to be beautiful to come and deliver my love. I couldn't find the right words to tell you with so much passion that I love you with all my life, that I am a slave to your heart. Only God, who leaves me in my bitterness, knew how to give me comfort in your love and sent me your tenderness, and thus with your kisses he erased my pain. Rias is happy, and with some tears that Issei will sing that song. Don't mind if he comes drunk to tell you little things about love. You know very well that if I go around drinking, I toast each glass in your honor. I can't tell you what I feel. I just know that I love you a lot. And sometimes I feel like a poet. and I come to sing you my love verses. Only God, who leaves me in my bitterness, knew how to give me comfort in your love and sent me your tenderness, and thus with your kisses he erased my pain. Rias couldn't believe that her Issei knew how to sing and also that he had dedicated that song to her. Rias, with tears, Issei, that was beautiful, thank you Issei. Issei, you're welcome my beloved, don't laugh, I dedicate this to the person who stole my heart. Rias, yes. Issei, hugging her, with Rias's head resting on his chest, I promise you my Rias that I won't let anyone take you away from me. As your boyfriend that's what I must do, and that means I have to defeat an immortal. I will do it, because I love you and I don't want you to be taken away from me. Rias felt again like that time when Issei told her that in that same place, but different this time, since he is saying it as her boyfriend, and she also had to do the same in case that damn fallen angel came near since the last time she escaped from the group. Rias, thanks for those words. Issei, you're welcome, let's go to sleep. Rias, you're right. Issei, allow me. Rias, allow you to. When she felt that her Issei had carried her like a princess to her bedroom. Rias, blushes Issei. Issei, I don't want my little crimson princess to use too much energy, that's why she has me as her boyfriend. That's when Rias started to get out of control, since he was now treating her very special. He did that when they had already made their engagement official in the past, and it seems he didn't miss those details. And now what will happen to our chestnut in the future? It will be until the next chapter, so this chapter ends here. The encounter with the dead hero. The clouds turned gray and lightning and thunder in the background adorned that scene of pain and suffering. In that scene I saw 26 girls devastated in tears. The cause of that crying was the death of her beloved. A man who gave his life for honor and his loyalty, and his love for those people who stole his heart and betrayed him for others. The rain was coming while looking at a redhead holding an injured chestnut tree. Imagine the chestnut tree in armor. The battlefield was covered in red. The traitors paid for their betrayal with their death. From above were 24 men, pierced with spears, dying. The destruction of that one was terrible. 10,000 men had been killed by one man. A chestnut tree with dented armor, feet and hands bleeding from cuts caused by the enemy. The perforated abdomen, chest and back had been cut through the armor. But he had fulfilled his mission of taking the traitors with him to the other world. The girls were lamenting for having killed their beloved, for those who had caused this. Rias, Issei wake up, Issei wake up, forgive me, I was stupid for leaving you alone, wake up. Akeno, Issei-kun, please don't leave us. Look how without you my life feels empty. Seraphal, little dragon, please wake up, don't leave me again, sniff, I don't know what I would do with myself, sniff, with my life, sniff, without you. Sona, please Issei don't leave me, sniff, you know you can't leave, sniff, without even having confessed, please come back Issei. The girls' laments were in vain, Chestnut would not return. You can see a chestnut in the distance running through the rain that was pouring down its face. The heavens looked at the sadness of the place, and the tears and sadness of all those who admired the chestnut tree descended. The brunette couldn't believe it, she was seeing her son dead in the hands of her daughter-in-law, who couldn't resist any longer and just fell to her knees and asked for her son's body. The girls understood. The devastated mother, with tears and cries, begged that it wasn't real. Mickey, no, son, come back, light of my life. Crying and sadness consumed her. The memories of her with her son when his father abandoned them filled her with sadness. And there was one in particular. Flashback. An 8-year-old brown-haired boy, lying in bed with his hands scarred from his work, asked his mother to sing him a song. Issei, mother, sing me a song. Mickey, it's okay. O light of my life. I am your mother. Let me hide you in my arms. O my boy. Light of my eyes. Hope of my heart. When you are in your mother's arms, forget the world. And weaves beautiful dreams. O my boy. The dreams of the world forget. Look at my boy, mom won't leave you. Light of my life. Hope of my heart. Sleep now. Oh my boy. End of flashback. The mother wept over the body of her deceased son. It wasn't long before the girls' mothers and fathers arrived, just as the leaders arrived. The cries of the mother and girls were heard at the scene. Mickey, my son, wake up, your mother is here, please wake up. So they repeated themselves, but of course that was not possible. From one of the condemned who was still in this world said. A blue-haired man who was a fallen angel from above spoke, his body dismembered from the arms, the product of the chestnut. Robin Issei, I Issei Hujo. Circe, shut your mouth. Robin, I will protect the kingdoms of hell, the people and the kingdom. Zeus, shut up. Robin, with your life I would protect everyone. Where is that oath if you are dead? Almost fainting. Ha 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 ha. Circe, I told you to shut up. The redhead had launched a power of destruction at the legs, making them disappear. The blue-haired boy just writhed in pain. Phoenix leader, with your permission, let's cure the traitors so we can torture them. Circe, you are right, Sir Fifth of the Order. Fifth, as you wish, you have already heard, soldiers, take the traitors to Phoenix territories. Soldiers, yes sir. They proceeded to lower the dismembered bodies of the traitors. Meanwhile all those present were only sad, since a good man had died and not only the leaders were there. Drake, who was with them, was saddened by the loss of his former partner who only voted for him at the slightest opportunity of convincing him. The Welsh dragon only wanted back that young man who saw him as his friend, a person close to him. It was inevitable, there was nothing he could do, Chestnut had already left this world. Mickey, now I understand you, my son. You sought happiness and peace for the whole world, even if it meant losing your life. Mickey, I don't know how I was able to convince myself of those, sniff, sniff, I myself killed my son, my beloved son, forgive me. I hadn't finished when. Soldier, my lady, we must take him. Mickey, no, please, sniff, 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 don't take my son away from me. Circe, yes, Mrs. Hugo, we must take him so that we can prepare him with a burial for his farewell. Mickey, no, sniff, sniff, I don't want to leave my son alone again. Rias, me too, brother, sniff, 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 I don't want to leave my beloved, I don't want to lose him again. Circe, please, soldiers, take him to the preparation room. Soldier, yes, my lord. Mickey, don't take him away, sniff, sniff, sniff. The parents proceeded to remove the girls from the place. In tears, they did not want to leave their beloved again. They prayed for him, but they could not. The act had already been prepared. The soldiers began to carry the chestnut on their shoulders. In the path of his hand, all you could see were pawn pieces falling one by one. They didn't know what to say about the girls, only the word was heard. The Dragon versus Phoenix. Well, the story continued, another episode that had to happen. The girls of the group also knew what had paused in the previous life in this event, how they had fallen before the Phoenix entourage. But this time it would turn out differently. They already knew what had happened, and they also had the help of Rias Gremery's second bishop, just for the occasion. He promised to become Rias's second bishop. Kuroka had agreed to participate to help her harem sister, and to be with her beloved while fighting. Another advantage is that her chestnut had been training more before they were here, and was more cautious and attentive to his rival's movements. Well, the DXD group was already prepared. In the occult club everyone was calm, even Issei was thinking about what to do while holding his hands during a martial arts fight. Those gloves and the brunette's tranquility surprised all the girls to be like that. He seemed to be focused on his thoughts, and it had been hours since the brunette's confession with him. That rigid look, with his hands on his legs wondering what he was going to do. All the girls already knew the abilities of those in the Razor's entourage. They left their thoughts when. Sona, good night, Rias. Rias, good night, Sona. Sona, apparently they are ready. Issei, good evening, what are you doing here, Kaicho? Rias, well, the game rating is monitored by another clan, they monitor ours. Issei, I see. Sona, we offered because it was the first game of Rias and for another reason. Issei, another matter. Sona, that's another matter. Suddenly a maid appeared in a white circle. Spelling, this list you will read Sama. Rias, yes. Spell, when it's time to begin, this magic circle will take you to the battlefield. Rias, it's okay. Sona, okay, we're leaving, see you later Issei. He says goodbye without first throwing a kiss to the brunette, which made a shiver run through his body. The magic circle was ready, back to another showdown. I hoped it wouldn't have to be like the last time. The members of the occult club had entered the magic circle, but before Graphico saw Kuroka, she explained that what she had done was to defend her sister so she wouldn't suffer the same fate. This calmed the silver-haired girl. Already in the other dimension nothing had changed, then they heard a voice. Graphics. Welcome to the Gremory and Phoenix clans. I am the maid of the Gremory clan. Graphics. This field was created for the advantages of Rias-sama and Razor-sama. Graphic. The places where their base was transported. The Rias-sama base is the old school building where the occult club attends. Graphic. The base of Razor-sama is the new school building, in the commissioner's urine. Graph. If a pawn reaches the base, he or she can be promoted. Rias hands them a small magic circle. Rias. Well, with this we will communicate. Rias. Well, the first move is that we take the gym. Issei. You're right, Rias. If we take the gym we can come and go to bring information as well as protect the area around the club. Rias, you're right. Issei. Whoever has control of the gym will have control of the entire playing field, being the center in chess terms. What do you suggest, President? Rias. I think a rook would be better than a knight in this area. Also, as you said, Issei, we have to protect our front line. Kaneko. Kiba set traps in the forest. Then Kaneko takes out her familiar along with Kiba and they leave. Issei. I will support with the reinforcement of the lines. Come Dango. Taking out a little fox. Issei telepathically tells him to set some traps near the hidden place. Dango responds to his orders and leaves. Rias. Wow, Issei, what a great help your relatives are. Issei. I have to be sure that they don't attack my princess and king or not. Akeno. Era, it seems that Rias has already taken a step. Rias. Well, that's right. Akeno put some spells in the forest and put some in the sky. Akeno. Hello, President. Akeno leaves, leaving the others alone. Issei. Well, it seems that Razor is clever. Maybe he spies on his surroundings around the base. I'll send a familiar. Since Issei has 4 familiars. Issei, come Kahaku, Slafer, Kakuyo, and Sango. The 3 relatives had appeared. Issei, Kahaku, stay here. Kahaku, leave it to me. Issei, Kakuyo, and Sango, transform into boys and bring information from the surrounding areas. Kakuyo and Sango, as the master commands. The snake turtle left, only one remained. Issei, Slafer, come. Issei secretly told him to follow Akeno, to help her. Asia had brought out Rase the dragon. Rias, Kuroka, go with Kaneko and Issei. Kuroka, it's okay, Rias. The 2 had gone, the base was secure, and soon the relatives would come to inform the president of the movements. While Kahaku was protecting the place while Slafer followed Akeno. Dango was with Issei and Kakuyo and Sango were giving information. They were already in the gym, they had found the Razor Rook and 3 pawns. Kaneko had taken care of the Razor Rook without any problem, destroying it with the Senjutsu, just as Kuroka gave up on the Mirror pawn. And Issei was in charge of taking out the twins using Drake's gauntlet. They had already left the gym while Kiba had defeated the 3 pawns with the illusions created by Kiba and Kaneko in addition to the barrier created by Akeno. While they were dating, Kaneko knew she had to keep her distance because of the Razor Queen. Before she injured Kaneko, she had already been seen approaching thanks to her informant relative. They dodged the Queen Razor's bomb attack thanks to Issei's reflexes, pushing Kaneko away, only receiving the scratch on her back. While Akeno was fighting with the Razor Queen. While riding, he announced the departure of the Razor's Rook and the departure of the 6 Razor Pawns. Kiba was taking care of a Razor Knight with Sword Bert, Kuroka had faced Kaneko's Razor Bishop with the other Razor Rook, and Issei was facing 2 Razor Pawns with the Knight. While watching Akeno's explosion with the queen, at one point Akeno had stolen the phoenix tear from the queen, who would have lost it due to the lightning sent by Akeno. Kiba finishing off the knight, Kaneko destroying the rook, as well as Kuroka defeating the bishop, Issei using the power of lightning to electrocute the knight, and the pawns using Drake's power using fire to burn them. Only one was missing, the king, so as not to cause problems he made his relatives disappear. Issei, now if Razor Phoenix, it is your turn to fall. Rias, Issei. Asia, Issei-san. Issei had climbed to the roof with his demonic and draphonic wings splitting. Issei, love, stay here watching how I defeat him. Rias, yes, my life. While Issei says goodbye, he gives Rias a kiss, giving her some energy for that pact he made. Razor, come on Emperor, I'll just have to defeat you and kill all the members of Rias to be with her. Issei won't let anyone take his love away from him. Issei, over my dead body. Razor, we'll see about that. And Razor began to take out his wings of fire and a fireball. Issei, Drake, give me 25 increases and prepare the surprise. Drake, it's okay, buddy. Issei launches himself to attack Razor. The blonde, confident like Issei, launched himself to attack him, but instead of attacking him, Issei dodged Razor's attack by pulling the lightning out of his hand. Then he nailed his hand into Razor's stomach, leaving the girls surprised. Razor, not happy, repeated the blow, throwing punches at the brunette's face. He just stepped back, waiting for Drake to be ready. He felt Razor's arm pass near his face. Perfect moment to attack him. With a series of blows to the body, tiring him out, full of energy thanks to the increase in power. When he lost his balance, he threw him to the ground. Then he fell with his knee towards the Razor's stomach, drawing blood in the process, affecting the Razor's rapid regeneration. Issei, come on Razor Phoenix, that's all you have. Razor, you'll pay, damn it, while writhing in pain and spitting blood. He was about to attack when Drake, partner is ready. Issei, perfect. Issei, balance breaker, boosted gear scale male. Around the chestnut tree, the armor of the Red Emperor Dragon was formed. Issei, now if Razor Phoenix, you will regret the day you threatened my house, that moment will cost you dearly. Issei with the enhancers launched himself at Razor, hitting him with the armor, but something changed in the armor. It was red with black as a result of the scar on his chest, caused by the commitment that Rias and Issei had made when confessing. Apparently, this power increased the chestnut's strength, as well as speed in another detail. Issei constantly had Razor against the ropes, offering him various blows with magical attacks to the body. He tried to react but couldn't because of Issei's constant blows, which didn't let him land even a hit on the brown-haired man. In the last blow, leaving the blonde lying down, Issei was retreating, but Razor took advantage of that moment. When he retreated, he launched himself to attack Rias, who was on one side of the club. He was about to hit Rias. Issei used his last strength and energy to get to where Rias was. Razor, what? How is it that? Issei, that move will cost you dearly. Issei had his fist right in Razor's stomach. Issei, to fly. As he said this, he launched a magic beam, sending the Phoenix Razor flying with a serious wound. Graph, Rias Gremory wins this game. Chestnut to get up when he fainted from using too much energy. Falling into Rias's arms, he had spent all his energy against the Phoenix, and he had no more left. He just needed a rest because later Issei will have a reward from his beloved. Rias, thank you my Issei, for making an effort for me. I already have your reward for this, just wait. While giving a kiss on his lips. The girls are worried and surprised by the armor and the final confrontation. Issei had previously told Saoirse that if he won he would forgive Kuroka for the crimes she had committed and that he knew she was not a bad person, which Saoirse accepted if he won, and also that he would not compromise Rias again. But here's another question, was there someone other than Ryanair who broke the chestnut's heart? Issei's reward, Rias? It was already dawn in the city of Kwa. In a room, on the bed was a brown-haired man with scars from a fight, and on top of him was a naked redhead sleeping peacefully. Issei, why do I feel like my body is heavy? Suddenly he felt a lump move under the sheet. Issei, that this lump. He couldn't say anything else when he saw Rias Gremory, his girlfriend, on top of him, naked. Issei. How cute she looks when she sleeps. He felt like he was going to wake up. It would be better to go back to sleep. The chestnut fell asleep again and the girl woke up. Rias. He looks so pretty when he sleeps. I just want to wait for the night to come. Today I will give you your reward. I hope you enjoy it. That was what was happening in her thoughts. Come on, wake up my Issei. He had given her a kiss on the lips as he leaned back against her chest. Issei, good morning my beautiful Rias. Rias, good morning my Issei. Issei, one question, why are we like this? Not that it bothers me, but… Rias, I had to cure you and this was the way to do it, and since I'm your girlfriend I'd like to sleep like this with you. As he snuggled into it. Issei, okay, also since I'm awake why don't we go on a date? Well, if it seems good to you. Rias, yes, I would like to have a date with you. Issei, okay, how about we meet at the park? Rias, okay, I'm going and we'll see each other in the park, my love. Before leaving through a magic circle he had given her a wink. Rias, today my Issei will be yours. She had talked in her room while she had several things to do for her romantic night with Chestnut, but she had to get ready to go out with him. Time had passed, and it was time for the meeting. In the park there was a chestnut tree wearing a blue shirt, canvas pants and blue tennis shoes. After a redhead had arrived, wearing an orange shirt, a white skirt, and a brown bag. Issei, you look beautiful. Rias, thanks Issei and you look handsome too. Issei, thanks Rias, well let's take advantage of the time. The two had gone for a walk around the park. They were very affectionate. Issei hugged Rias by the waist while they leaned on the brown-haired boy's shoulder. They left the place, visiting the mall, the video game arcade, eating ice cream, and more. But the redhead had something else prepared, more specific for the night. Finally they had gone to the cinema to see a romantic film, and it was getting late. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. Rias, I had a great time, Issei. Issei, yes, especially if I'm with you, my princess. Rias, and you my little dragon. Issei, well what do you want to do now? Rias, well I have a surprise, but you'll have to wait until tonight. Issei, really? Rias, seriously, so I'll wait for you at your house. Issei, it's okay, I also had to go to work. Rias, then see you tonight. Issei, we see each other at night, love. The two had kissed, but that kiss was not normal. It had lust included on the part of the redhead, which surprised the brunette, taking him by surprise. After a few minutes they separated, leaving a thread of saliva in between when Rias approached Issei's ear and whispered. Rias, she's waiting for you very anxiously. That shook the brunette, leaving him in a state of shock when the redhead said goodbye to the brunette with a wink. Before Chestnut left for work, he went to the gym where he often goes. He came in and trained a little, hitting a punching bag and the speed bag, still remembering the fight he had against the Phoenix. Meanwhile at the chestnut tree's house, there was a redhead with a mysterious box. Rias, well Issei, today I will give you your reward, for everything you did for me in the past and now, so get ready Issei because I will not hold back. While in a box he took out a small fragment of a red necklace and a piece of a golden necklace, a product of the destruction of the necklace after he returned to the past. Rias had gotten down to work. She wanted to prepare the room for her beloved Issei, because after that night that room would be their love nest, but for the moment that room would be a witness to what would happen at night. The sun had finally set. The redhead just looked at the product of her work, changing her brown sheets for a soft fabric one. Also on the floor a half-feather rug and on top of the bed 2 heart-shaped pillows. In another room she dressed in a sensual and erotic way for her Issei, and she also had in her hand the potion that they had given her. As always, Chestnut was coming home from night work a bit tired, but not so much today. Luckily he had left early and was anxious about the surprise his girlfriend had in store for him. He had arrived home and found Asia and her mother preparing food. After eating, Chestnut went up to his room and was surprised. His room looked different, especially his bed, those sheets, and that carpet. He was surprised by the fact that there was a note. Please Issei sit on the bed, your reward will begin now, and put this on your eyes. There was a piece of cloth on the bed, and wait. He proceeded to tie his eyes, leaving the suspense on the surface. He didn't wait long when he heard the door open and heard an angelic voice. Rias, Issei. Issei, you laughed. Rias, you can take off the blindfold, my Issei. Issei proceeds to meet Rias, who exhibits a stunning and seductive body wearing a black bra covering her cup breasts, her small waist and desirable wide hips, covering her giant, round and fleshy bubble but with a black lace thong with red edges. Thick and molded legs wearing black scented heels with a red flower in the center with blood-red lipstick. Issei, Ria. The poor brown-haired boy stuttered at the sensual figure in front of him. Rias began to walk sensually towards her chestnut tree and proceeded to sit down, hanging from the chestnut tree so they were face to face. Issei, you would say that it is. Rias, don't worry my Issei, this is my surprise and reward for having freed me from my commitment. Now accept your responsibility and take care of me. Without being able to react, Rias planted a kiss on his lips, putting her tongue around his neck and pretending to hold him more with her legs, pressing her breasts more with his pectoral. Due to lack of breathing, they separated. Issei, you laughed. Rias, my Issei, today I want you to make me yours. Lemon skipped. Issei, thank you my Rias, thank you for giving me this moment. Rias, to you, thank you for accepting me, my Issei. I know that night you gave me your heart, and you had already taken mine since the day I met you, and I want to be with you as long as possible. I don't want to separate from you. Those words were a testament to the love of those young people plus a redhead who finally got what she wanted, to be with her beloved. Issei, well my love, let's go to sleep. Rias, yes. Rias settled on Issei's chest while he covered her with the sheet, the moon witnessing that relationship and commitment. After that, a dragon mark had appeared on Rias's stomach. Now she was the female of his dragon. My first girlfriend. If we go with this part. Just like if you didn't see the previous part of the story, in this one I also want to emphasize that I took revenge on those who put me in a relationship with others and I celebrated to the fullest that I'm not one of them, so, sigh. Well, let's continue with the story. It was already morning in Quest City, the sun had appeared. In a room there was a brunette lying down with hickey marks on his neck as well as red lipstick marks from his lover's kisses, and some scratches and bites. On top of him a redhead who was sleeping peacefully on top of his brunette naked and hugged by him. The two of them didn't want to wake up, they wanted to be like that, the two of them together, the two of them hugging each other very close. Issei and Rias were waking up when someone opened the door. Mickey, son, you're already awake. He couldn't complete his sentence when he saw Issei and a red-headed girl on top of him naked and starting to wake up. Mickey, well, you guys go down to breakfast. The chestnut had closed the door screaming with excitement. The chestnut was already awake when he saw his mother and heard her after she entered his room. After that he just cursed himself, but well he was happy too since he had shared a night of love with his girlfriend. Issei, how beautiful you look like that, my dear. He kissed her head as she snuggled deeper into his chest and smiled inwardly. Issei, you know you have to wake up, you have to explain to Mom. Little by little he stood up, and saw those beautiful blue eyes that looked at him with love, those eyes that enchanted him from the first moment he saw them. For the redhead, she had also spent her night, the night with her beloved. She felt so happy since she was finally with him. When she got up and was sitting in front of her beloved she saw a red mark on her stomach and that made her happy since before she was marked she marked Issei. Issei, excuse me love, what is that red mark? Rias, that's your mark of love my Issei. Issei, what is it, sorry? Rias, they're silly, it's the mark of the security. When it marks a person, that person will have the mark and it will belong to him forever. In case he is attacked the seal will protect him and that too, the seal will transport him to the place. Issei then? Rias, then I'm yours, only yours. As she rushes to hug him. Rias, just as you marked yourself to be mine, you also had to put your mark on me, my love. While laughing he had given her a kiss on the lips. Issei, that's good to know, and we also have to explain to my mom about our relationship. Rias, obviously. Well, let's get dressed and go with my mother-in-law. Issei, okay. The two had dressed and collected what had happened yesterday. The two already changed went down to where their mother was with a teapot and a plate of biscuits. Mickey, can you tell me what you were doing up there? While Issei was sitting with Rias on his legs. Issei, well, you see, Mom. I didn't know how to say it like Rias had noticed it was still nervous to say it in that it hadn't changed. Rias, well, you see, Mrs. Mickey, I am your son's girlfriend, nice to meet you. Her mother was impressed by what she had heard. Her son had found a girlfriend, and this girl clearly respected her boyfriend. Mickey, I hope you treat him well. Rias, don't worry, I'll treat you very well. Mickey, you too, I hope you love her too. Issei, rest assured, mother. The two hugged each other. Mickey, come here, my daughter-in-law. The brunette's mother and the redhead hugged each other. That brought back memories for the redhead when they told her they were in love in the past, the same thing her mother had told her before. She was happy about those words. It brought her mixed emotions, just like when she herself gave her son's body in her arms and accompanied him at his funeral. But well, they had given her another chance, so she was grateful that her mother-in-law accepted her again, and that she could now be Mrs. Hugo. Issei, well, Ma is happy now. Mickey, yes, son, I hope you take care of her and love her, and now I have a chance to have grandchildren. The last words passed like a bullet, although that might be possible. Issei, Mom. Mickey, yes, I saw how they were this morning. Well, let's go have breakfast. The two went out to eat. Only this time they were already a couple, and Chestnut seemed happy to have a girlfriend who really loved him, unlike what had happened a few years ago. Well, the two were already like boyfriend and girlfriend. Rias, excuse me, mother-in-law. Mickey, call Okasan. Rias, well, okay, would you allow me to stay here? Mickey, of course. Rias, thanks, you heard, love, I'm going to stay with you. Issei, yes. The rest of the day was spent bringing Rias's things for the move. After he had arrived with Rias's things and tidied them up, the two of them went for a walk in the park. Issei, you know, Rias, how happy I feel to be by your side. I feel like something came back after I lost it. She had said this with her head down, something that the redhead noticed. She wondered if she didn't have the trauma of Reincarnation that could have happened before her, but whatever, she and the others will not allow them to hurt her brunette, and how she had sworn eternal love with the mark that she had put on him. Rias, don't worry, my Issei, I won't allow anyone to hurt you, or I wouldn't call myself a girlfriend. I give him that smile that many would give to be given to them, but that smile is for him, only for him. Issei couldn't stand it anymore and fell to his knees, hugging her waist. Issei, with tears in his eyes, told her. Issei, thank you, Rias, thank you for accepting me as your boyfriend, thank you for giving me back that feeling that someone truly loves you again. Rias couldn't hold back her tears as she hugged him and told him what she felt. Rias, don't worry, Issei, I won't let you down. I know you love me, not my last name, but as a person, and you noticed my feelings and didn't look at me as a trophy or a sexual object. I don't care what anyone says. I'll love you until the end of my days. Rias had lifted Issei's face, telling him to stand up, and when he stood up she gave him a warm kiss, she hugging his neck and he hugging her waist. The chestnut mark shone a deep red as he deepened the kiss. The two had gone home to the chestnut tree's room to sleep together as a couple. The arrival of the church girls. Another morning in the city of Kwa, more than that morning was special for a chestnut tree, who long ago became the boyfriend of a beautiful woman. And they were already sleeping together since she was the one who said she wanted to be with him that way. Well, it doesn't bother him since, one night ago he made her his, and he would prove that she belonged to him, and he would kill anyone who tries something against her. Issei, Rias, we must get ready to go to the academy. Rias, okay, my Issei. They went down to have breakfast with Asia and Issei's mother. Rias, Okasan, we're having a club meeting here, will there be any problem? Mickey, no. Issei, why are you here? Rias, the annual cleaning will be done in the building, so we won't be able to hold our regular meeting there. The two went to the academy as always, but this time it would be different. This time he was with Rias. He was walking while he was hugging Rias Gremory by the waist while she leaned on his shoulder looking like a maiden in love. The two, very friendly, entered where the comments were not long in coming. On the part of the boys, they were envious when they found out that he was dating the most beautiful girl in the academy, and they also felt proud that she now belonged to him, and only him. The dragon instinct was beginning to flourish, but well, also on the part of the girls of the academy, in addition to a group that was apparently a little surprised, not only by the performance of the two lovers but also by the appearance of the redhead. Tsubaki, look, Kaicho, it seems that Rias Butcho has already used the Pazama. Sona, yes, it seems that Rias was already with Issei-kun. Momo, Kaicho, yes, but what will we do? Sona, wait for the right moment. Rhea, I hope it's soon, I can't live without him. Sona, we don't all feel the same. They all nodded, but with the couple. Issei, well, see you, love. Rias, see you later, darling. Rias put her hands on Issei's neck and kissed her on the lips. It left Issei in shock, but hey, he didn't dislike that kind of affection. Asia. As he continued, he met his two friends. Motohama, you already found a girlfriend before your appearance. Matsuda, I hope you don't become like the prince of the academy, conceited and arrogant. Issei, calm down, guys, of course I won't be like him, and I want to continue with the plan. Both, we'll see. Issei, I also want to destroy his reputation. The three went to their respective classes. Meanwhile, in another place, Zenobia, one day left and will be with Irina. Irina, yes, I will finally see Issei-kun, please God. In a short time I will have Issei's firstborn. Zenobia, yes, this time I will follow the strong children of Issei-kun. I will be with the person I loved and lost. Irina, you're right, but this time we won't let him down. We'll be with him through thick and thin. Zenobia, yes. Returning to classes had passed, and it was already time to leave. If I didn't put the scene where Akeno helps Issei take away his power, that will be later. And the girls from the occult club went to the brown-haired boy's house. Only Rias was grabbing his arm possessively, and on the other side she had Asia hugged by the waist. They all arrived at the brown-haired boy's house, and Kuroka had also come to be closer to her beloved. Rias, well, let's start our regular meeting. The redhead said as she sat on the brunette's legs while he hugged her from behind around the waist, and had his chin resting on her shoulder. Rias, this month, we had 11 for Akeno, 10 for Kaneko, 8 for Yuto, 3 for Asia. Yuto, you're doing very well, Asia. Rias, and as for Issei, he has 20 contracts, she said it with a smile. Issei, thank you, I will continue like this, my president. Issei, thinking, it's because those contracts needed another type of agreement. In addition to some training and knowing how to conquer someone deserves something from someone who has experience. When Mickey came in. Mickey, sorry to interrupt your meeting, but I brought you some snacks. Akeno wouldn't have bothered. Issei seeing what his mother had in her hands. Issei, this can't be. He saw his mother with the photo album. Mickey, this is his first championship as a child, seeing a photo of a 6-year-old Issei, wearing a karate uniform. Mickey, oh, this is her first photo of just the two of us at the lake, seeing her mother and a 7-year-old chestnut tree and a beautiful lake behind her. While looking at a blushing and excited girl. Rias, little Issei, blushing and happy to see photos of her beloved. Kuroka, Naya, how cute he looks, in the same way as Rias. Asia, I understand how you feel, President. Rias, you feel it too. Kaneko, excuse me, Oka-san, and this photo. A brown-haired boy and a black-haired girl look at each other, both 10 years old, hugging each other. The brown-haired boy was happy and the girls seemed to be pretending to be happy, only the photograph had an X on the girl's body and had traces of water droplets all over the photo. Issei, it's nothing important, while covering the photo with his hand. Kiba, she's a good mother. Issei, of course. Kiba, it must be nice to live in a family. Tell me, Issei-kun, this photo. Issei, he's an old neighbor, we used to play, they left because they had a job abroad. I don't remember his name, and even less that sword. Kiba, apparently coincidences exist. As it was already night, he went to work, and after that he received a call from Rias. Issei, renegade demon. Rias, that's right, Asia, Akeno and I will stay outside. Issei, Kaneko and Kiba will lure him outside. All, hey, President. Issei had taken out his gauntlet, and something that had been given to him in a contract. A knife made of a resistant material. While Kiba is in his thoughts. Rias, Yuto. Kiba had snapped out of his thoughts and drawn his sword. The three of them left, and entered the abandoned building. There was nothing in the place, and suddenly the monster appeared. Kaneko, there it is, Yuto-senpai, Yuto-senpai. Kiba, I'm sorry. The monster threw a liquid, and by instinct Issei pushed Kaneko and recovered the liquid that hurt his arm. Kaneko, thank you Issei-senpai. Issei, it's not my duty to protect them at all. Kaneko, thank you. Issei, now it's your time, Prince Charming, or are you going to stay and watch from there? Kiba, I'm sorry. Kiba had launched himself to cut the monster in half while Issei cut a leg with the knife and with the momentum threw it out of the building. While Akeno received it with the power of lightning, she brought it down so that it fell to the ground. Rias, a disobedient creature who leaves her master and pursues her own desires, deserves punishment for such a sin. In the name of Lord Gremry I will punish you. Throw a power of destruction making that monster disappear. At that moment they hear a slap and they see that Rias slapped Kiba. Rias, let's see if you pay more attention with one more distraction. Someone would have died, she said it would be. Rias, what's wrong? She said, pretending to be worried, but I already knew why. She was like that. Kiba, it's nothing, I just haven't had a good day, excuse me, he said, bowing and leaving. Issei saw that and goes towards Kiba. Issei, hey Kiba, are you okay? He said seriously. Kiba, if it's nothing important, he said seriously. Issei, you've been serious since you saw that photo, he said seriously. Kiba, you know why I live, he said seriously. Issei, for Rias, he said seriously. Kiba, I don't live for the president, I live for revenge, he said seriously. Issei, revenge, he said seriously. Kiba, yes, I want to destroy the holy swords, but my main objective is the Excalibur sword, he said seriously as he retreats, leaving Issei alone. Issei just stayed there seriously and returned to the others in the chestnut's house. Rias, yes, it is a holy sword, but it is light, she said it would be while looking at the photo. Issei, Kiba has been acting like this since he saw this photo, he said seriously. Issei, he even told me that he wanted to destroy the Excalibur sword, he said seriously. Rias, I see, she said seriously. So Rias tells him how Kiba was a survivor of the Excalibur project and how she found him on the verge of death. Issei, wow, that's horrible. I don't know how Kiba can be feeling right now, he said seriously. Rias, yes, but this isn't the time to think about this, so let's rest, darling. Rias began to undress. Asia, in that case I'll do the same, she said while taking off her clothes. Issei, Asia, you too, he said, blushing. Asia, I'm not going to let Rias-san get ahead, she said while taking off her bra. Rias, Asia, today I will sleep with Issei, so go, she said seriously while crossing her arms. Asia, no, I want to sleep with Issei. I haven't slept with him for a long time, she said, blushing. So both argue, and in the end they pull Issei from one side to another, but in the end the three fell where Issei was on the ground, Rias was on top of his crotch, and Asia was sitting on his face. Issei, he'll be in Largo tonight. At night. In Issei's bed, Maneras was lying down. He had Ria lying on his right side and Asia on her left side, using her arms as a pillow while, instinctively, the brunette's hands passed over the girl's waists while the girls snuggled up to his chest and were hugged by the chestnut. Asia, I miss sleeping with him like that. Rias, I understand you. Well, now we will take good care of him. Asia, that's right, Rias One-san, and it seems you've already used it. Rias, what are you talking about? Asia, did you already use the little bottle they gave us, and was it with him or not? Rias, I won't lie to you, Asia, I already used it, and it already marked me, and for some reason before the ranting game he told me to put a mark on it. Asia, a brand. Rias, yes, look. Rias shows him the maraca with his name marked on the chestnut tree's chest. Asia, and what does that brand mean? Rias, may I take his heart, and we will meet again in more lives. Asia, well, maybe I can do it. Rias, don't worry, I'll be with him soon and the rest of us will be with him, taking care of him and loving him forever. Asia, yes. Rias, okay Asia, let's sleep with our little dragon. Asia, yes. The two of them snuggled up to the chestnut tree's chest, and the chestnut tree unconsciously hugged them from the waist. So the night and part of the morning passed in quiet, where a chestnut-haired girl was getting up with her girlfriend on her right, and left side was little Asia. Issei, come on girls, we have to go to the academy. Rias, moo, I want to be with you more. Asia, yes Issei-san, I want to be more like this with you. Issei, yes I know, but let's go to the academy and then they will be rewarded. Both, it's fine. The three had gone to have breakfast and go to the academy. Meanwhile, in the academy there were two girls in ecclesiastical vestments meeting with the president and vice president of the student club. Zenobia, hello Sona. Sona, how are you Zenobia? Zenobia, good, missing Issei a lot. Sona, I know, and you Irina? Irina, well, I also feel sad for not being with darling. Sona, I understand, go to the occult club after class, I'll inform Rias. Zenobia and Irina, yes. As always, Rias and Issei were walking very affectionately, Rias possessively taking Issei's hair in her chest as well as Asia. And as always, the looks and comments from the girls and boys out of envy, the boys for being with the most beautiful girl in the academy, and the boos from the girls because she was with a pervert. True that he was a pervert, but they misinterpreted everything, but they would say how they would ruin the reputation of the prince of the academy. But well, class has ended and everyone from the occult club was in the old academy building when someone knocked. Rias, pass. Two girls had entered wearing church cloaks. They both saw the brown-haired boy and lost the desire to cry and jump into his arms. Zenovia's POV. I had fallen in love or stopped cheating on Maro, an orange-haired, middle-class demon, who seemed to have a somewhat muscular build, which for me was a demon to have strong children, but that was my idea. Unlike him, the Issei, although he had that muscular build, he compensated with the great power of the Red Dragon Emperor. In addition to the teachings of the leaders, he had knowledge of battle strategies in addition to being an exceptional warrior, even when he sacrificed himself for the entire underworld against the beast of the apocalypse, the Trihexa. Not even when he fell into a coma I went to visit him, all because I let myself be fooled by those damn pretty words. And when I found out that he had cheated on me and that he had truly loved me, I felt terrible. I wanted to go ask for forgiveness, but I couldn't. I only saw how that warrior fought, so that before we all arrived the lifeless body of my dear fell, my great alpha dragon, accompanying me on the funeral procession to my mother-in-law and mother of the chestnut tree, and see the place where her body would be born, resting in a place of eternity. I felt relieved when Vala told us that we could return to him with the gifts that he hadn't given me. I promised myself that I would never let him down again, and that together with my friend Irina I would win back his heart and be with him for eternity. End of POV Zenobia. POV Irina. I felt terrible knowing that Samuel was a fallen angel, that I foolishly fell in love and betrayed my love and childhood friend, and that I let myself be fooled by those beautiful words and left aside that man who gave his life to save us, who was willing to die for our happiness. Preferred to hurt himself or be injured rather than even see a tear come out of us. He always told us that he didn't want to see our beautiful eyes cry because that would upset him. Stupid me, I let myself be carried away by those words, and besides, I didn't even go to see him once at the hospital where he was in a coma, and I turned my back on my first love. I felt so terrible when I found out about the betrayal of my ex-boyfriend and that my darling was the one who never betrayed us, and I felt more pain when I saw that he alone went to destroy an entire army, just him. By the time we arrived it was too late. I saw my ex-boyfriend on a spear and my darling fainted on that battlefield. I burst into tears, asking my father that it wasn't real, that it was just a nightmare, just a damn nightmare, but it didn't come true. I accompanied my mother-in-law and mother of my love to the memorial funeral held by all the factions and to see where my darling would be buried and that she would finally rest in peace in eternity. You devastated me for all those days until the arrival of Vala, who said he could see my darling again. Thanks to the gifts he gave us before arriving we could reach the past. I swore to father that I would not cheat on him again and that I would love him and follow him until the end of the world, until eternity. End of POV. Irina. Irina? Hello Issei-kun, remember me? Issei, excuse me, where do I know you from? Irina, do you remember this photo when we played as children? He shows her this photo. Issei, so you were a girl. Drake, what a surprise, sometimes I don't understand how he fell in love with you. Zenobia, hello Asia-chan. Asia, hello Zenobia-chan. Irina-chan, how are you? Issei, do they know each other? Asia, we met when we were in Italy. I met them, yes, and they were the ones who encouraged me the most to be with Taigo. Issei-san. Rias, and they come looking for you, feigning disbelief. From there he tells him about the loss or theft of the Excalibur swords and that they needed his help, because surely the Kokubile cadre was gathering them. Issei, so Kokubile is behind this. Zenobia, yes. Irina, maybe we can stay at your house, since the church is in bad condition. Issei, of course, since I don't want them to get hurt, I'll just have to ask Mom. The girls blushed. But well, there would be an opportunity to be with him, and be marked by him. Memories from the past resurface and a bit of truth is revealed. A few days had passed since the absence of Rias Gremry's knight, Kiba Yudo. He had not shown up at the academy even when he had been called for a meeting. The chestnut tree was left more than baffled, because he would escape, or there was some reason behind him that would make him disappear. He was deep in thought when he felt two gazes staring deeply into his eyes. Rias, good morning, love. Asia, good morning Issei-san. Issei, good morning girls. Rias, what were you thinking, love? Issei, nothing. Rias, I know you well, I know you're worried about something. Issei, fine, you win. I was worried about Kiba, he hasn't shown up for days. Rias, I know, I'm also worried about him, but I know that if you talk to him about his problem, maybe he'll listen to you. Issei, yes, I know what Kiba is going through is hard, a pain that eats away at your soul from the inside out. Rias, and why do you know all that? Issei, I had problems in the past, that's why I'm telling you, but it's nothing to worry about. Let's get up, it's time to go, you two. Asia. The two, it's fine. The girls had gone to the academy, except Kuroka, who was in the brown-haired boy's room for some information that Rias had asked her about the photo of that girl. After class, they spoke with the peon of Sona Citri to accompany him to an abandoned chapel to see if his fellow knight was there. Something that the blonde accepted, although he felt sad about the story he had been told about him. And in passing the girls from the church and the Nikomatas accompanied him to see where he was. The chestnut tree, thinking if it was true what his girlfriend had told him about the past that the blonde had, having immense pain and having a reason to continue living was revenge, getting revenge on those who had to do with that project. And practically yes, that was it would help the blonde as his partner, since in a way he also suffered. On the way they found Kiba, who was the one they were looking for. Issei, Kiba, I need your help. Kiba, why do you want my help? Issei-kun, you already know what I'm looking for. Issei, for the same reason, I have some business with those guys. Kiba, okay, I'll go. Issei, okay, let's go to the same direction where we defeated that demon. Kiba, the one from the abandoned house. Issei, exactly, let's meet at 7 o'clock at night, I have a feeling that house is a location where they will meet. Everyone had retreated and had found the location. Already at night, after Issei has Alta with his work about a delay that had arisen. Just as they had agreed, they met at 7 o'clock at night. They arrived at the indicated place, but something didn't feel right. Another presence was there. Issei, careful Kiba. Out of nowhere Fried came out attacking Kiba. Fried, but look what we have here, what I came to look for. Issei, I knew there was a scum around here. I didn't think there was a weirdo around here. Tell me, have you recovered from your leg yet? The words each time angered the exorcise, and Chestnut just smiled at those words. Fried, yes, and I will take revenge for that. I have also come to collect the fight with that swordsman boy. Kiba, we'll see about that. Fried, I didn't come alone. Out of nowhere more men appeared with swords. The number was 10 hooded men. Issei, interesting. Kaneko Kuroka, take care of those two on the left. Zenosha and Irina the two on the right. Saji will take care of one of those on the left, and finish with 5. Kuroka, seriously Issei Naya, finish those 5 by yourself. Issei, yes, they already had their objectives. Kiba, take charge of giving that crazy a cut on my behalf. Kiba, take it for granted, Issei-kun. All the members of that group rushed to finish off those guys. Issei, allow me to introduce you to the last sword you will see. The chestnut of a magic shield brought a sword, black with gold, and a skull. The confrontation was tough. The Nikomatas with their senjutsu finished off their targets. The exorcists also fulfilled the objective given to them by their loved ones. The one who had a hard time was Saji, a bit of difficulty, but he managed to finish with the objective. And Chestnut, well, the guys who came with him, well, they won't be a nuisance in the future. Fried, damn, those useless people couldn't do it. Kiba, you're right, and the only one missing is you. Starting a sword duel with the renegade exorcise. A moment of carelessness, Saji with his sacred gear caught Fried. But one voice for everything. It seems that the sword worked correctly for us. A fat man in ecclesiastical robes appeared. Kiba, I know that voice, seeing how a man came out, is Balba Galilei, the leader of the experiments of the sacred swords. Fried, you finally appeared, old baldy. Balba, concentrate the energy of your body on the sword. Fried, let my energy flow, like this. Fried's sword flashed a yellow light. Fried, now taste my power. He launched himself at Kiba, causing a fight again, but someone wasn't going to just stand idly by. Chestnut joined the fight, putting Fried at a disadvantage, especially since there were also 2 more holy sword bearers. Balba, Fried, we must go, we are at a disadvantage, you will soon have your revenge. Fried, whatever you say, old man, I'll take revenge on you. He joined with Balba, throwing a smoke bomb and escaping. Kiba, we have to chase them. The blonde was about to start the chase, but someone stopped him. Issei, where are you going so fast? I have something to talk to you about. Kiba, what a thing. Issei, you wait, Kaneko, Kuroka, tell Rias what happened. Saji, you two tell Sono what's going on. If he says something, tell him it was my fault. I told them to come with me, just like you Zenosha and Irina go with them. I'll catch up with them soon. In the meantime, I have a matter to discuss with him. The girls left, just as the 2 members of the Gremry group left through a teleportation circle. The 2 fell into Qua Park, where they sat on a park bench. Kiba, and tell me what you want to talk to me about. Issei, why are you seeking revenge, Kiba? He said it seriously. Kiba tells him what happened with the experiment they did to his friends and him, and how they helped him escape, and he was the only survivor who escaped and swore revenge for that. Issei, so that's it, that's your reason for seeking revenge. Kiba, yes, you wouldn't understand my pain, you lived a normal life, but I only live for revenge. Issei, you know Kiba, you're right, I used to think that way. Kiba, like that, he said seriously. Issei, I used to live for revenge. Kiba just looked surprised and serious and asked. Kiba, why? Issei, Look at this. Chestnut showed him a sheet of old newspaper with the headline saying the replica of the murder at Auschwitz. You know I did that attack. Kiba didn't have to say anything. He knew about his reputation. But he didn't know that he carried out such an attack. He did know about that newspaper report. But he didn't know that he had caused it. Kiba, yes, I had heard about that attack. 45 gang members died. It was said that it was a fight between gangs, but... Issei, that's right, Kiba, what they said was false. I caused that carnage for a simple fact. Kiba, revenge and why you did it. Issei, at that time many things happened to me. One of them, or rather two of them, changed my life. Kiba, like that. Issei, you see, Kiba, that time the meeting was held at my house. It reminds you of that photo of that girl. Kiba, yes. Issei, well, that girl was my Noah's from back then, and I let myself get carried away by the emotions of love until I realized it was just a game for her. She stabbed me in the, knowing everything I felt for her. I went out to the same park to think about what I should do. Kiba, I understand, but that has to do with homicide or murder. Issei, that's what I was getting at. When I came here, he stood up and walked to the fountain. He was so hurt by what happened that he wasn't thinking clearly, when in the distance he heard some men talking about how they were going to carry out an attack in a place where they would rob and rape the girls in that place. Kiba, so what happened? But what does that place have to do with the story, or what does it have to do with you? Issei, that was the place where I went as a child with my mother to attend classes. It was a kindergarten. In that place I had friends, male and female, as well as some friends of my mother who worked there, who always came to the house and took care of me from time to time. When I heard that that place was going to be attacked, after what happened, my blood boiled. How furious I was. Plus I had heard that they had some people kidnapped. It was the last straw that was spilled. The desire to kill them already ran through my veins. Kiba, what happened next? Issei, I followed them. I heard the location where the kidnapped people were and where those guys would meet. I returned home. At that time I had a night job, so I had the perfect excuse. I went out to meet them. In the abandoned place some girls were tied up and one of the teachers who took care of me. Inside there was a gang of rapists famous around here. Until that date, before that I had found a sword that I had buried not long ago, and it helped me with the duel. Arriving at that place, he had thrown a stone, causing confusion, and I don't know what happened to my body that reluctant or by its own volition, and I began to kill every guy that appeared to me. I did receive some scratches and grazes from the bullet, but I managed to save them all, although I regret not having arrived a while ago because I had shot an innocent child. That was one of the triggers for me. I got everyone out of there, and went on the way limping from the blows received to my left foot. Issei, after that, I lived for my mother. Many wanted to enter our house and well, they messed with the house of the wrong man. She was my sustenance to have my life. I lived for my mother, and also that now I was reincarnated as a demon. Also that I am Rias's boyfriend. I promised myself that no one would touch her. First it would have to go through me. That's why I tell you, Kiba, as your entourage partner, that I promised to help you avenge your friends and to seal the pact. Have it. He had presented him with a red, black and gray sword. Kiba, and this Issei-kun. Issei, it was with this same sword that I committed that attack, and now it is yours to fulfill your purpose and continue with your life after having achieved the objective and live in peace. We have a deal. Kiba, yes, we have a deal. They had withdrawn from the park, knowing that what was coming was something more dangerous. Fight against Kokubile. After Issei's conversation with Kiba, and the revelation of a bit of the brown-haired man's truth, the two left. Already having a relationship between members of Entourage, the two were ready to leave. After the brown-haired man arrived at work and returned home, ate, and went to sleep with his girlfriend. Issei's room. There was a brunette lying down while on top of him was a redhead with whom he was talking. Issei, well, the problem with Kiba has been resolved, although his situation worries me. Rias, you're right, I know he has suffered a lot since then, but over time he became stronger. Issei, yes, but the contribution of training physically was also mental training to forget his trauma or be focused on searching for one thing. Rias, revenge. Issei, yes, I understand that from that point of view. It is not easy to live like that without support or having someone you trust by your side and not letting yourself be guided down that path. Rias, and why do you say that? Issei, just in thought, my love, it would be better if we went to sleep. Rias, yes. That comment leaves her with doubt or discomfort. On the one hand, she was remembering her trauma and the pain that she made her beloved go through in her past life, something that is still a scar that will not close easily. But the second is the one that was repeated the most. What could have happened to Issei in this time and that she did not notice in him? That doubt made her think, but later she would solve it. Now, if she is not mistaken, tomorrow the arrival of Kokobile would arrive and she had to be prepared for the fight and to keep her beloved safe. The night passed and morning came. The two boyfriends had woken up. One of them, the girl, already knew that she was prepared for what came next. The two went to the academy. After that, the presidents of the occult club and the student council, along with their entire entourage, to watch the fight against Kokobile. It was already late. Both the Gremry group and the Citri group went to the site. When out of nowhere he appeared. Freed, wow, they took the bait, you bucking demons. Issei, freed, but look what we have here, Asia the traitor, enjoying your life like a bucking demon. Issei, do you want me to break your head? Another leg then, your little things, until you beg me for mercy. Freed, I would like that, to get revenge, but I have to tell them that my boss wants to talk to them. The sky was covered in a dark purple, and in the sky a person with 10 raven wings as dark as darkness. Kokobile, we've never met before, right, daughter of Gremry? My name is Kokobile. Rias, what did you come specifically for? I don't think it was just to chat, or am I mistaken? Kokobile, you're not mistaken. I've come to have a little fun around Qua Academy, your headquarters. Rias, pretending, do you want to provoke a war between the devils, angels, and fallen angels? From the beginning you only wanted another war between factions. Kokobile, that's right, that's the only reason. I've been bored since the last great war, so I'll start a war, sister of Lucifer Rias Gremry. Kokobile launched several spears of light. The girls already knew what was going to happen and were going to protect themselves with magic shields, but someone got there first. Issei, earth wall. A large earth wall was made from the ground. Something like that. The spears only hit or inserted the spears of light into the earth wall when both Kokobile and the exorcist had disappeared. Issei, we have to take care of the academy. Rias, yes, come on guys, you're playing too. Sona, you're right. The two entourages had left, but the girls, both the Gremry group and Citri, were more worried about this fight, since they did not want to lose the brown-haired boy. Although at this time he was stronger, they did not want to lose him. Already at night, the Citri group had formed a barrier around the academy while in the schoolyard. The sky had turned red like night, and in the heavens a castle in which was Kokobile. Kokobile, so they came, huh? I bet Sir Shay or Serafal will come. Rias, for your information, we will face you. Kokobile, we'll see about that. Better because they don't have fun with my pets. Issei, Cerberus, the guard dog of hell, I thought I would never see him. Rias, summoned him to the human world. Come on Kaneko, Akeno, Kiba, Irina and Zenobia, let's finish off the beasts. Issei, I'll help you from behind. Come on Drake, let's prepare the balance break. Drake, as you command, mate. Boost. The Red Emperor's gauntlet began to charge power. As the girls began to fight the Cerberus, one would attack Rias and Akeno from behind. Asia, Butcho, Akeno, stand careful. The girls didn't react in time when the Cerberus was already close, but something changed. Someone pushed them. It was Chestnut, who had his hands grabbing her jaw. Issei, what were you trying to do, disgusting dog? Nobody messes with my girls. I'll send you back home. I throw a little at the Cerberus when. Issei, okay, here I go. This is for attacking my girls. And with a single lightning bolt he took out the Cerberus. Chestnut was tired but still waiting for the balance break to be charged. The only sound from the gauntlet was how it began to give faster increases. Drag boost. While Zenobia, Kiba and Irina were attacking the Cerberus. Issei increased more power to transfer it to the girls. Drake, comrade, your power has doubled for being helpful on the battlefield. Issei, incredible. Drake, well, I just gave you what you wanted. Issei, Rias, Akeno-san, here I go. The two girls prepared to receive the power of the Red Emperor Dragon. Issei, boosted gear gift. Drake, transfer. The chestnut had transferred his power. Rias and Akeno released all their power to defeat the Cerberus when. Balba, it's ready. The sky, a drying light illuminated the heavens. Kokabeel, I'll keep the power, that was the deal. Issei, the whole city will be destroyed. The chestnut tree's mother appeared in memory. Rias, we'll stop you, let's go Akeno. Akeno, there's Butcho. Kokabeel, you'll have to go through me, Rias Gremory. The two of them launched the power, but they couldn't do anything to it since it caught them and threw them at them. Both of them were injured, even more so because she was about to fall when Chestnut caught her. Issei, are you okay, Akeno-san? Akeno, I'm fine, but even though you gave me power, I couldn't. I don't finish speaking. Issei, I don't care, how dare you hurt Akeno-san, I'll make you pay for that damage. Akeno, following the same, that's why I fell in love with you. To Akeno's mind came those memories of her past life when Chestnut saved them from that same moment, just like he saved them in other ways. And again came the memories when she was holding the corpse of her beloved and accompanied the other girls and her mother-in-law to the Chestnut's funeral. But now it would be different. Now I would be with him until the end. I would protect him. I would love him. I would be with him until death, as it should always have been. Already on the battlefield, on one side was the knight. Kiba was facing Balba. Kiba, Balba Galilei, I am one of the survivors of the Sacred Sword experiments. Balba, I had heard about a guy who escaped, but I never imagined he had become a demon. Balba, I am very grateful for your contributions, the experiments were successful. Kiba, success. Balba, the power of each of you was not enough to wield a holy sword on your own, which led me to a solution, it simply led me to take power from them. Balba, then a form to crystallize them, this is a crystal that contains every last bit of their power. It showed a pale blue crystal. Balba, they were just simple materials. Kiba, we were just materials. Balba, take it if you want, we have material to make more refined crystals. Kiba, Balba Galilei, how many lives have you wasted on your experiments and your greed? From the blue crystal came the liberated souls of Kiba's friends. Children, don't worry, if we all unite, open your hearts to all of us, I'm not afraid if God doesn't exist, even if God isn't looking, our hearts will always be there. Kiba 1. Issei, why can't I hold back my tears? Drake, that night has reached his peak, when the dreams and hopes of the owner of a sacred gear change to such a degree that they move against the flow of the rest of the world, the sacred gear surpasses its limits, creating balance breaker. Kiba, my companions did not want revenge for themselves, they never did, however I have to eliminate the evil that is in front of me, I must avoid it. Drawing a sword. Kiba, let someone else follow our path. Issei, come on Kiba, show them what the person who has taken his emotions to the maximum is capable of, defeat Freed and the Excaliburs and keep your promise. Kiba, I will become a sword, my comrades and now are one with my soul. Let's fulfill our regrets and our dreams of those days. I will become the sword of the President and my allies. Sword birth. Kiba, here is the sword of betrayal, a blade that is both sacred and demonic. Zenobia, Rias Gremory's knight, I guess we're allies. Kiba, I hope so. Zenobia, then let's work together to defeat that Excalibur. Zenobia, Petra, Basilius, Dionysius and Mary, the Holy Mother, listen to my voice. A sword appeared from a portal. Zenobia, in the name of the saint who rests in this blade, I will unleash the holy sword Durandal. Kiba, sacred sword. Issei, Durandal. Zenobia, it is a sacred sword, which they say is capable of dividing anything in this world. Balba, that's impossible, In my research I haven't found anyone who could wield the Duranal. Zenobia, unlike Irina or him, mine is natural. Zenobia broke part of the sword and Kiba in Freed's duel caused Kiba to destroy the sword. Kiba, Balba Galilei prepared to die. He didn't let the priest speak when Kokabeel pierced him. Kokabeel, I don't need this man to finish my job. Issei, Kokabeel, we have a score to settle. Kokabeel, a certain boy, maximize the power of the Red Emperor Dragon and give it to someone. Issei, you don't need someone, I myself will destroy you, Drake. Drake, yes mate, boost, 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 Transceiver. The chestnut transferred his same power to himself, and Issei, this is the power of the Dragon Emperor. Issei, Balance Breaker, Boosted Gear Scale Male. Kokabeel, so you can use Balance Breaker, but that will help you, you won't be able to defeat me. Issei, I wouldn't say that, come on Drake. Drake, yes partner, destroy that crow. The chestnut tree launched himself at the flying crow for what he did to his beloved and Akeno. The speed of the chestnut's attacks towards Kokabeel was quite fast and strong, not even Kokabeel could see where he was. Kokabeel, come on Red Impala Dragon, come and fight head on. Issei, who says he didn't fight like that? Issei nailed a blow to the stomach causing him to spit blood. Issei, this is the attacks on you. Grabbing Kokabeel's wings. Issei, and this is for Akeno-san. He threw Kokabeel down, tearing off his wings, listening to his screams of pain. After that, while on the ground, Issei deactivated his thrusters, letting him fall at speed. He went with his knee in front to fall on top of Kokabeel, his knee digging into Kokabeel's stomach. Issei, and this is for putting or even touching a hair on my beloved ones. Kokabeel saw that look, the look of a warrior, of a dragon that instills fear in its enemies. The chestnut was going to give him his coup de grace when the force field was destroyed. A white light descended from the sky so clear not a cloud in the sky. Kokabeel, Vanishing Dragon. Issei, Vanishing Dragon then he is. The wounded Kokabeel could barely stand when he looked up at the sky. Kokabeel, so you were lured by the red dragon, white dragon. Vala, who was the one who left this traitor like that? Issei, I was the one who left him like that, some problem. Valley, not at all, you saved me the trouble of carrying this crow. Drake, he's ignoring me, white. Albion, so you're alive red. I see that your carrier was able to defeat Kokabeel, I'm not surprised. Drake, it's a shame we found ourselves in this situation. Albion, don't worry, we're destined to fight one day, these things happen. Vala, we will meet again, Red Emperor. Issei, I say the same, White Emperor. Vala left with the unconscious body of Kokabeel and freed. Just as Issei went to where the girls were with Rias and Akeno when he deactivated the armor, the energies could not resist and fell on Akeno's chest. Akeno, Era, look who's here. Issei, I'm sorry Akeno-san, thanks for catching me. Akeno, no problem. Akeno, we'll be together soon my little cheese. The harem plan starts again. After the fight with Kokabeel, Issei was in the care of Rias, who looked after her beloved and was very affectionate with him. And he was more than happy that she treated him like that and received all of the same. Although he was worried about the white dragon, he was of little concern when he felt his redhead's lips on his mouth. Who was on top of him giving him his kiss? Rias, what are you thinking so much about, love? Issei, nothing, just thinking about everything that's happening. Kokabeel attacks this city. I decided to attack the people I love with all my soul. Rias, thank you for caring. Issei, you know everything you've done for me, I should reward you for your effort, right? Rias approaches him and gently kisses the brunette's neck, leaving the brunette excited, who had a slight red blush. Issei, and what does my little devil intend? Rias, surprise you. Anyway, what are you risking? I have to reward you and mention something else. Issei, something else. Rias, yes, something else, yes, and that will depend on your decision, although of course Drake-sama may have already told you about it. Flashback. In the occult room after Chestnut went for a contract, all of his lovers gathered, removing Kiba and Saji from that meeting. And they had communicated with the others who were missing to discuss a topic of interest. We are placed in the occult club watching the Gremry entourage and Citri talk about a topic that the matriarch of Issei's harem brought up. Sona, so you would bring us together. Those that do not appear will have holograms. Rosswise, if you want to talk, laugh. Rias, I wanted to tell you that we will now begin to interact with Issei. Kuroka, what do you mean by relating to Issei Naya? Rias, now we can start showing our feelings towards Issei and start the harem plan. Yasaka, harem plan. Athena, what do I mean by harem plan, Rias? Rias, I know it may have been confusing and it will surprise some of you, just as I was surprised. Asia, what is Rias 1 Sama? Rias, it seems that Raynar wasn't the first. Akeno, how come it wasn't the first time that? What do you mean by that? You laughed. Rias, Raynar wasn't Issei's first wife. Was there another woman who hurt him? Kaneko, why do you say that? Rias, why have I heard Issei say some things as if he had nightmares and to relieve him, or at least not hurt him, she is the harem plan. Sona, so there was someone before her. Rias, yes, he was hurt before Raynar. Irina, and why the plan? Rias, there you go, we still don't know for sure who he is or what caused Issei to get hurt, so the plan is that we who know him, all of us begin to establish a relationship with him. Zenobia, for example. Rias, pamper him, do anything to make him forget his pain and focus on us, that based on that we will give him love and with what we show him we will heal his heart, and we will be with him. Momo, then others will be there as a support for him and for us. Rias, like that, only this time we will be like him in good times as in bad, so tomorrow I will talk to him and that way you can be a shield so that she never comes near Issei again. Are you okay? All said yes. End of flashback. Survey. I know many people don't read or comment on my posts, so I'd rather do it here. This is not for this story, but for future stories I plan to do. I've been thinking about the first one. 1. It is to make a story about Issei and other boys, not relevant to any anime, well about football, each of them is a specialist in their field of play, goalkeeper, defender, etc. and considered in the game as the ideal 11. And now you will ask me, or you are wondering what is so special about this. The thing is, they leave their teams because their mothers were called by a friend in a town, and the town isn't just any town, it's a town of MILFs. You might be wondering what the best players in the Japanese league are doing in that town. The thing is, their mothers have friends who ask them to come because the team that was in the league is about to be relegated, and it's their only livelihood, and besides, their husbands left them alone. The cool thing is that both the mothers and the kids accept and make the most lethal squad in the Japanese league, and apart from that they have to coach women's teams in the specialties in their area. You'll know what I mean. 2. I was also thinking about stories, or one specifically, is that I have seen stories even I made of Issei in Heat, and the question is, what if it is not the one that is in Heat? You might be wondering who it is. The answer is that it is Yasaka. Yes, gentlemen, Yasaka will be in Heat, and who to satisfy the needs of the yokai and mature MILF Yasaka. If you want to know more about these stories, please reply in the comments and support your humble servant. 3. I've been thinking about recreating a story that I've been looking for quite some time, and the author's account was closed, and I hope mine is not closed as soon, so I'm thinking of rewriting it. The name is Harem of Issei, the heaven of a Dingale devil. If you want it that way we can put it into operation, and I will remodel it a little in my style. 4. I was also thinking about making a story where there is no supernatural, but Issei and his mother come alone, and then more and more of his mother's friends come to seek refuge in the house and in Issei's arms. If you want to know more, comment what you think. Well, let's continue with the story. Rias, yes, but first let's go to the academy. Issei, yes. Everything was going smoothly, but a certain chestnut tree was pensive. The arrival of the bank did not sit well with him. The target could represent problems not only for him, but for all those who value it, his mother, girlfriend, and the girls from the occult club. Only someone got him out of that thought. Mind of Issei. Drake, Ibu, how much do you think you're half distracted? Issei, I just think that the coming of the White Emperor could cause something to happen that would affect everything I hold dear. Trihexa, everything you hold dear. Drake knew what was precious to him, he just wanted to get to a point and take advantage of it. Issei, yes, my mother, Rias, Asia, and all the girls from the occult club. Drake, I understand that you're worried about your mother and laughing at your girlfriend, but why with the others, throwing hints at what they'll talk about? Issei, I don't know, I feel like if something happened to them who have been good to me, I feel like I wouldn't forgive myself. Drake, you hit the nail on the head, Ibu, that's because you have an appreciation for them, I think you start to feel something for them or not, Ibu. Issei, I don't know if it's admiration or if I already have feelings, and even if I had them I couldn't leave Rias. Drake, but you know she loves you and you love her or not? Issei, yes. Drake, it's true that you have her, but by nature we dragons and several of my carriers tend to have a harem. Issei, yes, you had told me, but what about that? Trihexa, as I said, you appreciate them and I feel that they appreciate you too, and if I'm not mistaken I think it's not because of admiration or friendship. Issei, maybe? Trihexa, maybe they are in love with you. Issei, seriously, maybe they are in love with me. Drake, yes, maybe, and as I said, being a dragon you can have a harem, but what defines us as opposed to other races with their harems is? Issei, yes. Drake, we love and respect our partners, while others may only want them as pieces of meat. Issei, then? Trihexa, you may have partners later, who knows, I'm just telling you this, a dragon protects and watches over the safety of its females and territory. Issei comes out of subconscious. Issei remains thoughtful about everything Drake said. Will more girls fall in love with him and be able to make Issei's heart beat again? When he arrived at the occult club, his thoughts wouldn't go away until laughter brought him out of the trance. Rias, what's up, Issei? Issei, nothing, just tired. Rias, I'm sure it's just that. Issei, yes, why do you ask? Rias, just because I know how to get rid of that tiredness. As he approached Issei and lightly bit his lip. Rias, Issei could go to these contracts, I have to talk to Akeno. Issei was gone and only Rias and Akeno remained. Rias, and well, I know what you wanted to talk to me about. Akeno, I want to be with Rias now. Rias understood perfectly what Akeno meant. Of them she was the most emotionally serious, she was almost one of the most attached to him, and when she found out about the betrayal and that the chestnut died, they grew inside, their feelings and emotions disappeared, she became so fragile since the funeral. She and the others supported each other to avoid continuing to suffer, but her support was Issei, she trusted him too much, and seeing his current situation, the new revelations, and according to the plan, it was time for all of them to repair his heart. Rias, yes, Akeno, you'll be with him, but I want to do something tonight, and you know that Michael's delivery is near. Akeno, yes, I know, I feel like every time it happens, I can't live without him. Rias, I understand you, Akeno, I know that you were more than my queen, you are a friend, almost a sister, that is why I tell you, Akeno, that we will begin what once was, we will be the women of Issei Hujo. Akeno, it's okay. The two hugged and left. Akeno had already been given the green light to go out with him. However, Rias wanted to surprise Issei tonight because of Kokabeel. Already at night. Issei, as always, was coming home from contracts and his work, exhausted, and thankful that it was already the weekend. He felt that tiredness was taming him in the night that only the moon lit. Everyone had eaten and left, only Rias and Issei chatting. Rias, Issei, why don't you go to the room? I'll prepare your reward. Issei is fine, but you owe me something. Rias, something. Issei, yes, this. Issei took Rias by the waist and stole a kiss, which surprised her, but she let herself go until they were both breathless. While Rias was preparing the reward for Issei was beginning to consider the idea of having more girls, and that could hurt Rias, but suddenly he comes out of his thoughts when Rias appears. Rias, you like Issei? Issei almost had a heart attack seeing her. Rias, and what do you think? Issei, you look very beautiful. Rias, you could come closer. Issei listened and approached Rias, to be in front. When he was close, she put her arms on her chest and rested her head on Issei's shoulder and said, Rias, you know, Issei, I didn't tell you this on our first date, and I want to tell you now. Rias, you Issei, you are the most important person to me. I could not imagine what I would do without you. You are the person who makes me feel loved, and being here in your arms I feel a warmth in my heart. I feel that every time I am in your arms I feel loved, protected, cherished. I feel that you are the person I trust the most. The person in whom I can deposit my feelings, and I know that this person would not betray me. Rias, and I wouldn't know what would happen if I lost you, Issei. I know I would be torn apart inside. When I saw you fight with Kokobile, I had the feeling that I would lose you, my love. I don't want anything to happen to you, because if not I would die, Issei, remembering what had happened on that tragic day in the underworld. When the betrayals were revealed and how she held the brown-haired man's soulless body, like all those days without seeing his face and telling him that it was all a nightmare. As Chestnut listened, he was perplexed as to why she was saying that, so he grabbed her by the waist and hugged her, placing his head on top of hers in a protective and welcoming position for her. Before she said anything, he spoke. Issei, Rias, I don't know how to tell you this, but like I told you before, you are a very special person to me. You stole my heart with those beautiful eyes. I don't know what I would do if I lost it. If I lost that beautiful smile you have. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so don't worry, Rias. I will always be here with you. I know that when I'm with me, no one or nothing will hurt me if I fight for you. Issei already knew that it was this moment or never. His emotions and feelings fought every day against his thoughts and or a weak heart. He knew that this was one more step to not fall, but everything depended on her. But listening to her, he knew that he had fallen in love with the right woman. Rias couldn't hear all the words coming out of her chestnut. Those words made her fall in love even more, and the fact of being in his arms, those who protected her from everything, that unconditional support he gives her, and how to forget that she was lying and attached to his chest, where she could feel his heart. Only that she differentiated that his heart was a little muffled, and she already knew why. Issei, you see, I will always be with you, that's why you marked me that night. Rias saw again that march that lady was shining on the chest of her beloved, and she didn't know why. Rias, thank you, Issei, for being with me at this moment. And she raised her face and her hands surrounded the boy's neck and took the brunette's lips by surprise. In a kiss that conveyed love and sweetness from the girl, he was surprised, but he gladly received her kiss. After the kiss, she was very excited about that kiss. Issei, and that kiss. Rias, I had to take you by surprise like you did with me or not, and today I also want you to make me your wife, Issei. Issei, if that's what my beautiful princess asks me, her wish will be granted. Lemon skipped. After 2 hours of intense and passionate love, the two fell asleep on the bed and, as always, laughed, lay down on the brunette's chest. Rias, what a spectacular night. Issei, yes, Rias, can I ask you something? Rias, tell me. Issei, well, Dryad was telling me that a dragon tends to have more partners than just one, and I was wondering if. Rias, whether I agreed with that or not. Issei, yes. Rias, yes, I agree on one condition. Issei, which one? Rias, no matter how many women you have, you will always keep a place for us in your heart and love us forever. Issei, take it for sure, my love. Rias, and something else. Issei, what a thing. Rias, being your first partner, I will be the matriarch of your harem, that is, the leader. Issei, okay. Rias, well, let's go to sleep. Issei, yes. Issei was asleep, hugging Rias protectively as always, while Rias was thinking that her plan was already in motion and they would recover what they lost in the past. Only here we will be closer than before. Pool day and the meeting. A night alone. In the land of the rising sun, more specifically in the city one. Of Qua. The light entered through the window of a room. But that day would mark a today and tomorrow in destiny. Lying on his bed was a chestnut tree next to a beautiful red-haired woman who was the chestnut tree's girlfriend. The two of them were so close to each other after a night of passion. Already after the beginning of a new life for both of them. The chestnut first because after learning of what had happened, he knew he would have many challenges in this life. In addition to finding out that there would be new love affairs or something like new girls who would be interested in him. And with the red-headed girl, it was the beginning of her life with the man of her dreams and on which her whole life depends. It was a new beginning after what had happened in his previous life. From the disastrous events in that life, losing and realizing his mistakes, life gave him a new opportunity to correct those mistakes and also to start a family with his Issei. But everything was according to time. But I would take advantage of every moment with him. When they both woke up, their eyes met, and they shared a tender kiss, saying good morning to each other. They arrived at the academy as always, lovey-dovey, and the glances of their classmates were not long in appearing. The classes and the day passed so quickly that the hours passed so quickly that it seemed like a dream. Night appeared, welcoming them with its embrace of a strong blizzard of night command. A chestnut tree headed to an apartment where someone wanted him for a contract. After meeting the client. After a while, the two of them were sitting playing on a console. Azazel, you play so well, demon boy. Issei, not as much as you. Azazel, I've been practicing. Issei, but he got hooked on this. Azazel, it's just that ever since you took me to the arcade I became obsessed. Issei, I see, you have consoles from the oldest to the most recent, I'm surprised. Azazel, people often say that I get too obsessed with collecting things. Issei, that sounds familiar, oh wow, I lost. Azazel, let's go for another round demon boy, or should I call you Red Emperor Dragon? Issei, so you are. Azazel, that's right, I am Azazel, leader of the fallen angels. Issei, you are the ruler of the fallen angels, why did you summon me? Azazel, I sensed that Kokobile was planning something, so I infiltrated this city, in addition to being interested in your booster gear. Azazel, apparently they got ahead of Albion and defeated Kokobile, congratulations. Azazel, it was a problem to intervene directly, so I told him to intervene. It was easy to convince him, although one thing surprises me. Issei, what? Azazel, of all the power you have achieved so far, well due to the events, the leaders of the fallen angels and demons, have decided to hold a meeting soon. The next day. The chestnut tree had told what happened the night before. The redhead, like the other girls. That the meeting of the leaders was approaching. And that other girls from the harem came for the love of their lives. Well, among those plans was the addition of a new member to the group. Also that I would have to relive a memory that I didn't want to. And another one that I would probably get more out of. Another day. They had left that house heading to the academy, meeting Zenobia. Already at the academy, I had the task of cleaning the pool by decision of the student council, but some were not happy with that decision. But well, focusing on the occult group. Issei, then we have to clean the pool. Rias, yes, it's a favor we owe the student council for Kokobile, and in return our club will be able to use it after finishing the cleanup. Issei, now that's a reward. The girls were on one side putting on clothes for cleaning, as were the boys on the other. In the ladies' locker room the girls were talking about a little plan they had. Instead in the boys' locker room. The two were changing when. Kiba, Issei, I promise you no matter who comes looking for you I will protect you. Issei, why do you say that suddenly? Kiba, it's hard to say this in front of others. Issei, thanks friends, these are not words that should be said to girls, and besides this is not cool. Kiba, you saved my life. I can't consider myself a Gremry Knight if I don't return the favor. Issei, I'm going ahead. Leaving the place when his arm turned into half-dragon. Issei, why is this happening, if Akeno drained his energy not long ago? Drake, I told you to be wary of that formidable presence of power. Issei, what? Drake, you came into contact with the leader of the fallen angels, an extremely powerful being, It was obvious that this would happen. Drake, power breeds power, you know. Issei, so you were referring to him. While on the other side, the girls were talking about the relationships they would have with the brunette, and what they could do. And the most interested person at the moment was knowing that the date she had set for her beloved to return was coming to an end. And that another key moment was this very day because of the event that is about to happen. When suddenly Kiba came in. Kiba, President, this is bad. Rias, what happened? Kiba, it's Issei-kun. They entered the locker room where the brown-haired boy was enduring the pain in his arm. Rias had given the indication that Akeno should suck the dragon's spiritual energy. Akeno had gladly accepted. After a while, the others were cleaning up while Akeno was tending to her kohai in the dressing room. Akeno, after sucking the energy, began to play with Chestnut's finger. Akeno, you know Issei-kun, being like this with you gives me mixed emotions. Issei, what? Akeno, I don't know why, but every time I'm like this with you, my existence asks me not to stop being with you. Akeno had climbed onto Issei's legs, standing face to face. They had exchanged glances, they had a slight blush, a strange sensation ran through both of their bodies. The tension grew stronger, and with each breath, the air between them was tense. I knew this was wrong, but something deep down told me to take her, to take those beautiful lips. When he took that beautiful woman in front of him, he felt his blood begin to pump faster. Those few centimeters separated them. The door suddenly opened. Rias, oh, what does this mean? Issei, you said that? Akeno, she only sucked the dragon's energy. Rias, well, it didn't seem like that to me. Issei is telling the truth. Issei, you see. Rias squeezed the brunette's cheek as a sign of anger. Rias, were you deepening your relationship with Akeno-sama, the woman of your dreams? Issei, I don't. Rias, do what you want. Rias, annoyed, leaves the two of them there. Issei, this will cost me blood. Akeno, she seems jealous, how cute. Akeno, Issei, it seems that the relationship is getting stronger. Everyone is already outside. And the pool is full. Rias, well, let's swim to cheer our hearts. Everyone rejoiced. Rias, Issei, what do you think of our swimsuits? Issei, these beautiful estuaries. Rias, thanks Issei. Akeno, how about mine? Issei, you look very beautiful Akeno. Akeno, thank you Issei-kun. Asia, look at mine Issei-san. Issei, you look very pretty there. Asia, thank you Issei-san. Kaneko, look at mine. Issei, you look very pretty, Kaneko-chan. Zenobia, how about mine? Issei, you look very pretty Zenobia. Rias, okay, let's go to the pool. They all started, but Rias stopped him. Rias, Issei, could you do us a favor? Issei, yes. But he never thought what would happen. Issei, come on, Rias 1-2. Issei, I never thought everyone wanted to learn to swim, or maybe it's just a trap or my imagination. Rias 1-2-1-2. After Rias was entertained with Issei, it was Akeno's turn. Issei, come on Akeno 1-2. Akeno, yes Issei-kun 1-2. Then it was Kaneko's turn, who also asked to learn how to swim, supposedly. After a while, Asia and Kaneko had fallen exhausted after so much swimming. After that someone calls? Rias, and Issei, could you come here for a while? Issei, tell me you'll say. Rias, could you put some sunscreen on me? Issei, hi. Issei, ha, this is one of the best days of my life. Rias, Issei. Issei, yes. Rias, would you like to put some sunscreen on my breasts? A few simple words that echoed in his head over and over again. Issei, but it's okay. Rias, yes, because of course, we share a special bond or not Issei, and it's not the first time, right, also put them together with the tanning lotion later. Something inside Issei's mind short-circuited. Issei, Since I defeated Razor and we became boyfriend and girlfriend, the president has become more daring. Issei didn't react very well when two fluffy things appeared and stuck to his back and two thin arms attached themselves to his torso. Akeno, era, don't monopolize it all for yourself, President. Issei Akeno. Rias, what are you doing, Akeno? Akeno, now don't be jealous, President, let me have Issei-kun for a while. Rias, no, Akeno, you know very well what I mean. Akeno, how bad, what do you think, Issei-kun? Issei, what are you saying, Akeno-san? Akeno, era, whether your cute senpai will pamper you or not. And in a moment of carelessness, Akeno had taken Issei's ear, making things more complicated. Until a ball of destruction destroyed a pool block. Rias, you're not overdoing it, Akeno. Akeno, era, if that's what you want, I won't back down. A fight that didn't last long, in an argument between Rias and Akeno until they arrived at the club. At the club. Everyone was in the club, when suddenly a magic circle appeared. Issei, wow, how quiet it is here. Rias, brother. All the Demon King. They posted themselves in front of the redhead as a sign of respect. Issei, so you are Argentinian Asian, looking at the blonde. Asia, yes. Issei, thank you for taking care of Rias. I've heard that you are a very talented nun. Asia, not me. Issei, relax, I've come for personal reasons. Rias, personal matters, something didn't add up or it was something I didn't want to remember again. Issei, yes, so you are the Knight of Rias, Zenobia. Zenobia, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. Issei, likewise, I could hardly believe that the Durandal carrier had become a piece of my sister. Rias, why are you here? I knew what she meant since she was coming. Issei, what are you saying? Aren't classes starting soon? Rias, don't tell me. Issei, I want to see my sister do her best in school. Rias, it was you who told him, it's not like that, Graphia. Issei, don't worry, our parents will come too. Rias, you're a demon king, you shouldn't waste time on this. Issei, this is also for work, the faction meeting will be held at this school. Only two men were surprised by this news, since for obvious reasons the women already knew about this. Night fell over the Asian continent, and with its dark cloak it covered the city of Kwa. In the chestnut house. Issei, I'm glad my sister isn't causing you trouble. Mickey, don't say that, on the contrary, it's a joy to have Rias-chan here with us. Issei and Asia watched as their mother calmly talked with the Demon King. But that wasn't all. Rias was a little upset, or looked upset, that her brother was with them for a simple reason, you can guess. Rias, why did you have to tell them he could stay here? Issei, naive to what would happen, said. Issei, what's the problem? He said he'd go look for a hotel tomorrow. And how he feared and remembered it from his past life. Rias, no way. I won't be able to sleep with Issei. Issei, I have to talk to him about some things. I'll borrow him tonight, okay? Issei, wait, not bothered because we slept together. How will he be when I tell him that we had some romantic moments? Suddenly he felt someone come and two arms wrapped around his neck. Issei, President. Rias, will you be able to sleep alone? Will you be okay without me by your side? Rias, because I won't be, I can't sleep without you anymore. That worried expression appears on the redhead's beautiful face, as she didn't want to be left alone, or rather, without her comforting place in the world. Spelling, come on, Ajro-sama. Graphia had arrived to take the redhead away. Rias, I understood, spelling. Graphia, good night. Rias, good evening. While laughing he cursed his luck for not sleeping in his favorite place. Night had come, we found ourselves in the chestnut tree's room. Issei, I apologize. Issei, why? Issei, it's rare for a demon king to sleep like that. Issei, I am really grateful for this. Issei, huh? Issei, nobody treats me like a normal guest there and they shouldn't, this makes me happier than a great welcome. Issei, it really is like that. Issei, besides, Rias was never as happy in the underworld as she is here, so I thank you. Issei, I didn't do anything. Issei, Hujo Issei, I take care of you. Issei, thank you for your words, I will fulfill them and take seriously what you have entrusted me, Mr. Issei. Issei, oh right, I can also call you Issei. Issei, of course, it would be a great honor. Issei, so you too, Issei, can you call me by my name? Issei, what? Issei, or you can call me brother if you want. Issei, that's a lot. Would you give me the honor of calling you Issei-sama? Issei, of course, I heard you met Azazel, that's correct. Issei, yes, I think it will be behind my booster gear. Issei, sure, Azazel has a strong interest in sacred gear, but he is not a warmonger like Kokabil. It was the fallen angels who first withdrew from the last great war. Issei, apparently Azazel sent Kokabil to Eternal College. Issei, so wait, could he want to make me his servant? Or worse, what am I going to do if he tries to brainwash me? Issei, don't worry, I guarantee your safety. Issei, thank you. Issei, the legendary dragon is finally on the dark side after all. Well, it's nighttime now and we need to rest, don't you think? Issei, you're right, good night. Issei, good evening. Several kilometers from there. Are you sure it will be there? Yes, I'm sure the Drake carrier is there. I hope you're not mistaken. The encounter with White and another from the past comes. It was already morning in the city of Ko where our chestnut tree met his future brother-in-law, and the Demon King for the second time. But another thing is that there would be a meeting between the leaders of the main factions according to him. After doing what I said goodbye to and laughed, I took him to see the surroundings. She and the others knew that the encounter with the White Emperor Dragon was coming. Time passed, they had gone to pick up Zenobia at her house and take her to class. He just stayed there waiting for her while Issei had gone to the academy when suddenly the Red Emperor's arm began to glow. The pain as if it were pure fire that took them and faced him. A rival they would be destined to fight in the future or maybe not. In front of him, in front of the entrance of the academy was him. There was Vala, known as the White Emperor Dragon. Issei, who is he? Vali, so you are the WSH Dragon, the Red Emperor Dragon, Hujo Issei. Issei, that's right, and who are you? Vala, please don't you remember me? This is the second time we've met. Issei, I don't know what you're talking about. Vali, I am Vala, the White Emperor Dragon, Vanishing Dragon. Issei, so you're the one who came for Kokabil. Vala, exactly. Issei, this guy is dangerous, you have to be careful, oh. He couldn't conclude because Vala already had it in front of him, pointing with his finger. Vali, you look helpless, what would happen if I used a little magic? Issei, nothing would happen. Vala, why? Issei, because I'm already behind you. Vali, but what? Issei, surprise, that's right, I was able to evade your detection while we speak, make one false step and you're dead. Vali, you know that I won't stop with this. Issei, I know, it's just a warning, I don't want to create a crime scene with your corpse. Vali, it won't be yours. Issei, we bet. Pressing the knife harder to Vali's jugular. For further reference this one. Vala, so you want to fight in front of your colleagues? He only saw Zenobia and Kiba out of the corner of his eye and behind them. Issei, you know you're a pain. He withdrew the dagger and walked away, standing in front of his companions. Issei, what do you want? Vali, I was just passing by and I could feel that red energy. You know what level of power you have in this world. Issei? Vali, apparently you can almost use the full balance breaker, but seeing that you almost destroyed a cadre, I could consider that you have between 4 to 5, which would be almost 15,000 or 20,000, but it could decrease due to the state of its carrier. Issei, what are you trying to say? Vala, technically you are someone important because of the power presided over you, but you need to exploit that power, and you would be even more, isn't that so, Rias Gremry? Issei Rias. Rias, White Emperor, what is your goal? You will be related to the fallen angels. He knew very well that he had brought them into this world, that they owed him something or that it was the account settled between him and his beloved in the old one, but he had to act against it until things changed. Valley, we are the two celestial emperor dragons, the WSH dragon and the vanished dragon. All those who had relations with these dragons did not have a peaceful life. I asked you, will it go to you? Well, today I did not come to fight. I am too busy for that. Issei, this guy will bring me trouble. But suddenly she feels her partner's hand lightly taking her hand. Seeing how relaxed she is in front of the possible enemy, or not. Some time later. Lying in the infirmary watching as the energy in his arms began to diminish. The thought stunned them, seeing how another equal to him appeared in his human form, coming face to face with the opponent who was destined to finish them off one by one. Thinking out loud about the White Emperor Dragon woke up his companion. Drake, mate, why so thoughtful? Issei, Drake, what a surprise. Drake, yes, my friend, I'm worried about your conversation with the white man and your thoughts. Issei, so you know, because I met him. Drake, yes, and I warned you about him, remember? Issei, it's true, but the armor I wore the day of the fight with Kokabeel was the same as mine when I fought him and Razor. Drake, you're absolutely right, but that was his full suit of armor, and he's much stronger than you. It seems he's spent years perfecting his skills. Issei, yes, I know, I'm not at his level. I need years and training to be able to acquire all your skills, no offense. Drake, not at all, we think the same, you need more training, but in your current state you can give him a fight, but to finish him. Issei, can you give me a percentage? Drake, give it a 35 to 65. Issei Tanbaho. Drake, same reason, but you can even surpass him with the training, but you haven't told me why the thought is so profound. Issei, is the relationship between the red dragon and the white dragon. Trihexa, that was a long time ago. The angels, the demons and the fallen angels, unleashed a war between them. Also the fantastic beings and humans took part in that war, except for the dragons, but there were a couple of dragons that made the battlefield the place of fight. Issei, because they ended up having a big fight. Drake, who knows, they don't even remember if they wanted to. Well, following the three great factions made a temporary truce to stop the war and catch the two dragons. Issei, they joined forces to stop those guys. I can imagine what kind of disaster those guys caused. Drake, well, the two dragons unleashed their fury, for having interrupted. How dare inferior series stop a duel between dragons? Well, the ending was not very pretty. Issei, you guys are the worst. Drake, well, in the end they were able to defeat them and lock them up for eternity. They locked their souls inside human beings in the form of sacred gear. Since then they used humans as intercessors to meet to fight each other again and again. Issei, those dragons were you and Albio. Drake, exactly. Drake, well, we're meant to be. Some die without even seeing us wake up. Issei, I see, wait, but I already met him. Oh, but what mess did I get into? Trihexa, there's nothing to worry about. I'm sure you'll be able to handle this, he assures you. Issei, are you sure? Drake, affirmatively. He calmly walked down the hallway, entering his classroom seeing how they almost hit him. Of course he got over those blows, but the annoyance of his classmates about Zenovia's integration into the occult club had them a little upset, arguing about it. Some events happened, so he went outside to get some air. When he found Rias and the president talking about what happened with the white dragon and the ties it has with the fallen angels. But tomorrow he had a bigger challenge. Back in his humble abode, the chestnut tree prepared for a bath after being almost half mute, which would kill him, but the bath would relax him, or so he thought. When he opened the door he saw Asia undressing. He quickly closed the door and found Rias, and she suggested they bathe together. Throughout the bath he was steaming and a bit nervous. I thought nothing of the Rias and Asia and felt like someone entered the bathtub. It was Rias. Issei, you laugh. Rias, I always wanted to be like this with you since we met. I see. Issei, I'm surprised it's at this moment. Please control yourself, calm down, be calm down, I said. Rias, does it bother you that I'm with you like this? Issei, not at all, it's the best. Rias, I'm very happy about that. I want to do this every day, but I don't think you'll repeat them. Maybe 5 days a week, 3 days would be too much, don't you think? Issei, shit, if I weren't here again it would be like our nights of love, give me strength to fall into this temptation. Asia joined the fight to be with him after what happened in the past. It was a torment not to be with him, and the fight began. And Issei's nosebleed was imminent. Death 344 Death by excessive richness. Well, dawn broke again, open classes began and the terror and fear of many began that day. And after the clay figure incident and the terrible English class, they left for the club. They showed the figure to Rias and a small discussion ensued as they all went to the old photography room. Issei, a magical girl? Rias, I'm here. On the stage was a magical girl posing for the boys of the academy. After learning some information about what she was wearing and Saji taking out the commoners, Saji asked if he knew who he was going to look for. He said yes. I was about to say the name when the door opened. Sona, what's going on here? Saji, well you see. Serafal, Sona Wanchan, long time no see. A small chat between brothers who, due to an oversight, didn't see Issei. After greeting Rias, there it was. Standing, alive like the last time she saw him, the regret she had was immense. May the centuries reach for them to forgive her for abandoning him like that. Tears that she shed in his room for having hurt him. She was the last person of all of them who saw him alive and exchanged words with him. Just thinking about it hurt her. It burned her soul just remembering the treatment he gave her, how hypocritical he looked. Treating the enemy and thinking about getting married hurt her a lot. She was one of the most affected at that time. Not only the only man who saw her behind all those characteristics of a girl saw her as his girl. His woman, and she saw him and sent her to a war that the only one harmed was him. Those dark days without seeing him, feeling him next to her were like swords of light piercing her heart. She asked in her pleas for time to stop, that only the one who stole her beloved's time, to go back so she could tell him that she loved him and that he would forgive her. Being with him, when he was seriously ill in the hospital was the only thing she wanted to take it back. That happiness and joy that irradiated her went out like a candle. Those nights the whisper of the wind reminded her of her sin. She heard the man's voice in the distance telling her, "Goodbye, my love. Be happy." And the melancholy returned. Her attempts to commit suicide were in vain. Her parents were with her as well as with her sister who also suffered that. But time gave her a chance she would not waste. She only wanted to return to his arms and feel his warmth and the beating of his heart and hear from his voice, "I love you, my magical girl."
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.